Hi there, this is John, and finally I'm actually doing a video showing me going somewhere. And about a week ago I went to the National Museum of African American Music, probably one of the best museums I've seen here in Nashville, and so I want to take you along with me and take a look at what I saw. The National Museum of African American Music, or sometimes referred to as the NMAAM or Nmaam, happened to be a project that took about 20 years to get going and to get created, and along with the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum, the Musicians Hall of Fame and Museum, and the Songwriters Hall of Fame and Museum, it gives Nashville 4 national music museums worth visiting. The design of the museum is gauged into 7 permanent sections. First, you enter the museum and you go into the Roots Theater, which is a small theater where you see a film explaining the museum to you, and sometimes they do have live performances there. And then from there you go into a hall that is referred to as the Rivers of Rhythm, and this is a permanent connecting hallway with exhibits that go into the other sections of the museum. And here we are in Wade in the Water, which is a section that talks about the history, influence, and the survival of religious music, the influence of gospel music, and various forms of music that relates to gospel. Crossroads covers the history and influence of blues from music of sharecroppers and labor mill workers during post-slavery periods in America. Shared here is the influence of blues on country music and rock and roll. A Love Supreme begins with early African music and moves into the creation of jazz and details the growth of the music in various forms that were created. One Nation Under Groove tells of the post-World War II blending of multiple forms of music, R&B, blues, jazz, funk, hip-hop, and gospel to create what was first experienced in the 1950s and continued as music was played more on radios and the sounds such as Motown, Stax, and Philly, with an emphasis on Soul Train and MTV. So why was Nashville chosen? Well, probably a lot of reasons, but two were shared with me while I was there. And the first is a story about the Fisk Jubilee Singers. It's an a cappella group that toured at one time Europe, and they were performing to raise money and for the Fisk University, and they performed for Queen Victoria, who in her diary wrote, "They must truly be from a city of music." Many believe this is how Nashville got the nickname the Music City. And an unofficial vote came from Jimi Hendrix himself, who said, "I learned how to play guitar better in Nashville than anywhere else in the world." Hendrix played at a lot of the bars on Jefferson Street after he got out of the Army. The Message is the story behind hip-hop and rap, including DJ-driven music and details of East and West Coast forums, plus the sounds leading into what is experienced today. As I said, there are several other good museums or great museums here in Nashville, and I'm going to have a link up above so you can click on and you can visit those as well. And this happens to be my favorite section of the museum, the gallery. Some pretty cool stuff here, so let's just check it out. And as you continue to watch, please consider hitting the subscribe button if you'd like to see more of what Nashville has to offer. And in the comments, feel free to ask me any questions or make suggestions and tell me what you'd like to see. And we're going to continue with a few more great looking pieces of art right and down until the end. So hope you enjoy what you're seeing and you have a great week.